Welcome back, yos. It is Championship Racing once again here at SARCO. This is round number 8 of our V8 Supercar Championship, which is proudly brought to you by Thrustmaster and Mettlestate. For more on each of the different products, go and check our description below and we'll be sending you to each of the different websites. The format for this evening's race is a 1-lap flyer and then an 18-lap race around the Bathurst Mount Panorama circuit here in Australia. Let's take a look at the starting lineup. So the 1-lap flyers are complete, and this is how the guys ended up. Christopher, he once again puts himself fastest with Jakes from the Black Mambas in second place on the grid. We then move back to row number 2. Dirkie, he's now third, and alongside him he finds the other of the Black Mambas, that is Dylan, in fourth place. We then move back towards row number 3. Stephen, he goes fifth fastest, and he has Ashley up against him in 6th place. We then move down to row number 4. Lendl, he's in 7th place, and he has Ross, our Scottish international, alongside him. Then rounding off the grid, that is Jacques, he's in 9th place, and he's alongside Brandon, who takes up the 10th position. Now that the scene has been set, let's go racing. So as we get the view of the lights from Jakes' helmet cam, that's green lights and we're racing here at Mount Panorama. Christopher's got a great start off the line. Jake slots into a 2nd place. Dylan and Stephen are side by side going through turn number 1. Ashley, he's run off, or he's gone into the back of Jacques, and looks like Ross was involved in that incident there as well. But now we have Stephen and Dylan side by side. They'll head down the hill towards turn number 2. On board with Brandon. The guys on the brakes, 100 meters out. Stephen's a little bit wide, no contact between Dylan and Stephen. I want to go back and see what happened there into turn number 1. Here, looking from Jacques. I see Ross, he goes a little bit wide. Ashley, he goes off. And as he comes back, unfortunately, getting himself in the line of Ross. We have a look at turn number 2. You see Stephen, he's a little bit wide. He loses the rear. Dylan nowhere to go. And unfortunately, Dylan taking Stephen out and putting himself in the barrier. But needing to wait to let the guys go past until it is clear. There comes Ross, just managing to go around the outside of Dylan. No harm done there. But back to our leader, that is Christopher, leading Jakes with Dirkie in 3rd place. As they head up the mountain section, now coming through turns number 8. Little lift off here through turn number 9. Now they'll go into turn number 10, just about flat out as they head towards Skyline. Touch of the brakes, down into 4th gear, back on the brakes, down into 5th. We jump back, that is Ashley, he's being chased by Stephen with the pink mirrors on that very green Brighton's livery. That is Jacques just behind Stephen as they come down the dipper. Down through turn number 18, the Forest Elbow. A little confusion on the cameraman there, but we now have the 2nd and 3rd drivers in shots. That is Dirkie going past. He is following Jakes quite closely as they come through the chase. Onto the brakes into turn number 21. Little lock up there for Dirkie. He's not going to be wanting to do that throughout the race. He'll jump back to Brandon as he takes a lot of curb going into turn number 21. He's safe now out of 20. Just ahead of him, that is Lendl. So Lendl has had a great start. He started on the back row, but he's moving himself way up the order here. Well, that's Jacques. He's gone very wide. It's a spin of the rear. Fortunately, no grip out there. That is Ross who now goes past. Dylan now goes past. Back to our race leader, Christopher, coming out of turn number 1. And we see a bit of a battle starting to develop between Dirkie and Jakes. As they go towards Mountain Straight, down the little dip. Up through Griffin's Bend goes Christopher. down into a third gear. Get the power on. Let's take a look at the current positions. Christopher leads with Dirkie second. Jakes is in third place. Lendl all the way up into fourth place with Brandon in fifth. Ashley, he's in a sixth place with Stephen in seventh. Dylan eighth. Ross ninth. And Mal Jacques down in 10th place. Unfortunately, not having much luck here for Jacques. Cameraman Tim a little bit confused, but we kind of expect that with him nowadays. Jake's trying to get closer to Dirkie. Very close towards the wall there was Jake's, but now as we catch them coming through Skyline, now into turn number 11. Down the dipper. Jake so close to that outside wall. Lovely side. All he has a look to the inside. That was very close, but Dirkie able to get through that without any incident. I honestly thought Jakes might have gone a little bit too hot and possibly taken Dirkie out there, but no. So coming down Quadrant Straight, just about to go through turn number 20, just about 280 kilometers an hour through there. As they come out of turn number 21, Jake's got really close to Dirkie. We jump back to Ashley. He too now coming through turn number 21. Now through turn number 22. There goes Lendl. There is Brandon, and that is Ashley. So Ashley currently circulating in a 6th position. Brandon and Ashley definitely have had some history together, racing very closely throughout this championship. But it seems that Brandon has the advantage for now. So in shot, that is Stephen. Oh, he's on the grass going onto the braking zone. That's not going to stop his car. So unfortunately, Stephen is off through turn number 21 and rejoining on turn number 22. That's going to allow Dylan to move up a position. So Dylan now up into 8th, and that puts Stephen down into 9th position. But that now makes a lot of sense. Looks like Stephen is battling with that car, so he's going to go in and get some repairs done to it. We chased Jakes just behind Dirkie. We saw that was Christopher going through turn number 3. Now up through turn number 4, the cutting. Got to be very careful. Dirkie a little bit loose on the rear, but not enough space for Jakes to accelerate and take advantage of that little mistake. Getting as much power out through turn number 6, flat through 7. This is flat through 8. Little lift as they go through turn number 9, and then it's back on the power. Little lift through turn number 10. Getting as close to that wall as possible, like Jakes was demonstrating for us there. 1 gear down, 2 gears down. That's down into 2nd gear. Jakes is wide. That's up against the wall. That's going to cause some damage, and unfortunately bouncing off as he was going into the dipper and collecting the wall on the way through turn number 15. Let's just get a side shot of Jakes' car. You can see his bonnet definitely having taken some damage there. That's going to start impacting on his straight line speed. And in the background there, that is Lendl. I'm sure he's going to be looking at this opportunity to start closing Jakes down and possibly move himself up into 3rd position. So Lendl starts closing in on Jakes, coming through turn number 21. There goes Dirkie. That's Jakes peeling off to go into the pits. So he's obviously felt that the damage that he's incurred is not worth carrying on. So as we see Jakes in the pits, here comes Brandon. There's Ashley. So that means Jakes will drop down another 2 positions. We see Jakes currently in 6th place, and next to pass Jakes will be Dylan. So that means Jakes now down in 7th. That's Dylan is up to 6th. Coming out of turn number 1, that is Ashley. He's currently driving car number 13, trying to chase down Brandon as they head down the mountain straight. Ashley does drive in the Super V8 when his father Arthur drives in the RS01. Good to see the family affair that the guys have going on in their household. But now Ashley up through turn and number 2, starting to close down on Brandon. He does seem to be closing that gap ever so slightly. Through turn and number 3, hard on the brakes here into turn number 4. Got to make sure that that rear is nice and stable when you're putting that power on. Car number 51, that is Ross. Ross really not having a good start to this race. Unfortunately having a little incident in turn number 1. But that is him trying to chase down Dylan. Whoa, Ross very untidy there as he went into turn number 4. You can see he just about went up against the wall. Very, very wide coming into turn number 6. You heard him had to come off the power there. Yeah, Ross is definitely not looking comfortable. Lots of grass as he went through turn number 9. Back to our race leader, Christopher, as he comes out of Murray's. Let's jump on board with him and go for a tour around the Mount Panorama circuit. Through turn number 1, known as Hell Corner. Let's bring up the positions. Christopher leads with Dirkie 2nd, then Lendl's 3rd, Brandon is 4th, Ashley 5th, Dylan 6th, Jake 7th, Ross is 8th, Mal Jacques is 9th, and Stephen in 10th. Now turn number 2, hard on the brakes, down to 4th. Now a little gear down into 3rd, back on the power, up through Griffins. Looking for the markers on the outside, a little lift, turn in, gear down on the brakes, down to 2nd, up through turn number 4, back on the power, flat through turn 5. In quali, this is flat, a little lift through turn number 6, flat here through turn number 7, then down the hill. 8 is flat, a little lift here through turn number 9, back on the power, trying to use that runoff. Little lift through turn number 10 on the power once again. Staying off the curb on the outside, looking for the gap. Down to 4th, down to 3rd, down to 2nd, turning in, down into turn number 13, now through 14 out of 15. This should be a flat, little gear down, down into turn number 18, back on the power. Now through turn number 19. Fortunately, we don't have the speed, but we'll probably be doing about 260 kilometers an hour now up over the hill under the Pirelli Bridge. As we enter the chase, this is just about 280 kilometers an hour, looking for the skid marks in the middle of the road. Down to 3rd gear, turn it in, ease on that power out of turn number 22. Now looking for the cones on the left, braking down into turn 23, getting into 2nd gear, back on the power and across the line. So cameraman Tim losing Ashley as he went up through the mountain section, but now Ashley approaching into turn number 10, right up against the inside barrier. Ashley a little hesitant on the brakes, and that is why Brandon, he's facing the wrong way up at Skyline. Let's go back and take a look. You'll see Brandon going a little bit wide, coming out of turn number 10 on the grass. That unfortunately is going to put him up against the wall. Big impact as Ashley goes past him. This is on board with Dylan. He now getting right up against the inside wall. There's Brandon. Brandon starts reversing. Dylan goes straight into him. You can hear Brandon revving the car up in the air. I think that was shock. You see Brandon try to get that car rotated, unfortunately putting himself up against the wall. And here comes Dylan. Dylan now corrects. Brandon moves again. Dylan tries to correct again. And that unfortunately is sending Brandon up and over. Parts flying everywhere. This is Jake's. He now comes around turn number 10. Jake's managing to squeeze through the carnage on the outside of turn number 11. This is what it would have looked like from Jake's point of view. So Jake, seeing that Brandon was on the outside there, would not have seen that bumper, but it's safely through there. This is Ross approaching Skyline. Cars in the middle of the track. Huge impact into the back of Dylan. And it was at this point where Ross realized he was not going to be able to make it through Skyline with Brandon in the middle of the track there. trying to going around the outside of Dylan, but unfortunately just hitting him from behind. What's happening? Where's this music coming from? Uh-oh. No! They're yet to collect! So with Brandon, Dylan and Ross now being taken away, we can look at the positions. Christopher, he's in first place with Dirkie in second. Lendl, he's in third with Ashley in fourth. Jakes, he's in fifth with Dylan saying that he's in sixth place. Ross is in seventh, Brandon eighth, and Moljak in ninth with Stephen in 10. And we can see Ross in that number 51 coming down the Conrad straight. That sounds like he just managed to get it into fifth gear. Dylan's toe angle definitely does not look straight. You can see that front right wheel facing the other way. Brandon just getting himself off the track as Jacques goes past him. No boot there for Dylan. So we see Christopher in the background. He's going to start closing up on... Apologies, that was Stephen. There's Brandon just getting well off the track. But nice to see on the outside there some of Brandon's fans there. You can see him just giving him a good clap as Brandon went past there, showing his support. And as Brandon, he comes into the pits, we can see Dylan and Ross's car already there as Christopher crosses that start-finish line. There's Dirkie in the background as he comes out of Murray's with Lendl behind him. In shot, we see Ross, he's starting to leave the pit lane. Let's check in with Lendl, with him trying to close down the second place driver, Dirkie, up the mountain straight. That was Ross in the background, having had his repairs after the massive impact up on the mountain section, just coming through Skyline. Unfortunately, Brandon losing it coming through turn number 10. Dylan finding him, and unfortunately the two drivers blocking the road and Ross absolutely nowhere to go. But now a good shot of Lendl coming out of turn number 6, now through 7. Christopher comes through Murray's once again, and Brandon and Dylan are still in the pits. A massive impact for them, which means massive repairs. There comes a Dirkie through Murray's once again, followed very closely by Lendl. Let's take a look at the positions. It is a Christopher, a Dirkie, a Lendl, Ashley, a Jakes, a Moljak, Stephen, a Ross, a Brandon, then Dylan. So that is Ashley. He now crosses the start-finish line. He's currently circulating in a 4th position. I'm sure he'll be very happy with that after the little incident he had into turn number 1 on the first lap. And we catch a Dirkie coming up through the cutting. Nice, close up against the wall there as he prepared to go through turn number 6. And I'm just not seeing Lendl closing this gap just yet. Great shot of him right up against the outside of the wall before turn number 10. Very tight line there for Dirkie going through Skyline. And as he goes through the dipper, also hugging that inside wall, keeping well off that wall on the outside, coming out of the S's. Now through the forest elbow. Oh, Dirkie a little bit loose on that power. That is Dylan. He is back on the track after having a massive repairs done to his car. Dylan sliding it in true Dylan style form. Again, sliding it into turn number 21. As we see him coming down the last straight of this towards Murray's, taking a lot of that inside curb and away. So Ross, he's now got some repairs done, but it does not look like he's fixed all his damage. There's a few minor scrapes and aero pieces that are still not looking good there. See, Ross was very wide going into Skyline. Cameraman Tim, what are you doing? There's Brandon going very, very high up onto turn number 9. Now into turn number 10. Doing a much better job this time round. So we look at Lendl. He's got Dirkie a couple of car lengths ahead of him. And I'm getting the sense that Lendl and Dirkie are doing pretty much the same lap times. Lendl not being able to close this gap just yet, but he's definitely keeping Dirkie honest here. Because any little mistake and Lendl's going to be able to close that gap down. Look at Stephen. He's currently circulating in a 10th position. Nice and tidy as he goes through turn number 12, now through 13. We managed to catch Maljacques coming up the cutting. Maljacques generally quite quick around here, but I think just some of that damage early on in the race that's hampered his performance here and not being able to get up to the front runners. But I'm sure Jacques will be enjoying just being here on this track in this car. Through Skyline goes Jacques. Looks like he got just about airborne there. As he now goes into the dipper. He'll exit out of turn number 15. Little gear down and now down the forest elbow. A little bit wide there for Jacques, but manages to keep it off the wall. Oh, no he doesn't. That is Lendl coming up turn number 4. You can see nice and tight up against turn 5. Little lift through turn 6. Staying off that curb on the outside because it definitely unsettles you. Little lift or a little touch of the brakes there. Whoa! Almost putting it into the outside wall as he came out of turn number. But he's managed to recover. Now he'll go into turn number 10. Nice and tight there for Lendl. You can see that suspension working as he attacks the corner at Skyline. Nice and tight up in through the dipper as well. Very tight exit out of turn number 15. Just sliding that car through turn 17 and nicely through turn 18. Now through turn number 19. And I'm still seeing that that gap is pretty much the same. So Lendl's going to have to start digging deep, just find just that little bit extra, so he's able to start closing down the second place driver, Dirkie. The 5th place driver, Jake's coming through Skyline. Unfortunately having a little grab of the wall early on in the race, needing to pit. But here he is finding himself climbing up the order. Down at the forest elbow, nice and tight there for Jakes, who can see starting to close down Ashley. I'm sure he was going to have Ashley in his sights. Down Conrad straight. It'll back over the crest. We'll jump to Ashley as he gets on the brakes now into turn number 21. Well, Ashley's gone a little bit wide. He's gone off on the runoff. Out of turn number 22, he's going to have lost some of that straight line speed. Jakes would have seen that, so Jakes is going to be definitely hunting him down now. Actually touching just a little bit of the outside curb. Jakes' rear is a little bit loose. Obviously trying to get that power down. He's getting a little bit excited. He just needs to be patient. Actually exiting out of turn number 1, and we can see Jakes closing that gap. Cameraman Tim completely clueless once again. Oh, Dirkie up against the curb there on the exit of turn number 6. Very close to the wall there. Whoa, that was Lendl. The rear snapping on him, but he manages to hang on there. Through a turn number 10. Both Dirkie and Lendl coming out of Skyline now through turn number 13. Now into the dipper. Lendl's a little bit deep. That's sure, I was going to say that's going to get him very wide, but he manages to control the car and not hit the wall. He's a little bit too quick into the forest elbow. but it looked like Dirkie struggled to get that power down on that exit. And now Lendl's starting to close up that gap. As we go to the bumper view, you can hear this car just about hitting the limiter into turn number 20, hard on the brakes. Just about missing that inside curb. Lendl getting that rear loose once again on the power through turn number 22. As he comes through, Murray's wanted to see whether Dirkie was a little bit wide. He wasn't. He managed to keep that car on the curb. Crossing the line, let's look at this current positions. So Christopher leads with Dirkie in second, then it's Lendl in third, Ashley's fourth, Jakes is fifth, Maljak is in sixth place with Stephen in seventh, Ross is eighth, Brandon ninth, and Dylan down in 10th position. Ashley coming out of turn number 23. We'll have a little look backwards, and there we're going to see Jakes starting to fill that rear view mirror. Little lock up for Ashley into turn number 1. Jakes looking very tidy there. Jakes will have the straight line advantage now, being able to pick up that slipstream from Ashley. Up the mountain straight. Will Jakes have a look to the inside here into turn number 2? No, he doesn't. Just a little bit too far away. Oh, Ashley's lost the rear, manages to hang on to it. That's going to allow Jakes to move up a position. So Jakes is up into 4th. Ashley, unfortunately, down to 5th place. So just looking at the brakes, Ashley goes in pretty decently, but turns in. The car just straightens out, and as he adds a little bit more input, the rear just lets go, but managing to catch it. On board with Lendl, down through the dipper. The Dirkie right up against that inside wall. But Lendl definitely starting to close up on Dirkie here, so he's definitely finding some pace. Little lock up there by Dirkie. Now onto the Conrad straight. Lendl definitely closing up this gap now. Car hitting the limiter down the Conrad straight now through turn 20. Onto the brakes, he'll close right up behind Dirkie. Dirkie locks up. Lendl just about touches that outside, and that's unfortunately just impacted on his exit speed. And now they come towards Murray's. Lendl definitely looking a lot more comfortable than Dirkie now, but I think Dirkie now watching that rearview mirror just a little bit too much. Just a few little mistakes starting to creep in. But that's a great exit by Dirkie. Lendl are not able to close that gap. So Lendl not getting an advantage down the mountain straight. So Dirkie is safe for once again another lap, because it will be single file up through the mountain section. Dirkie being chased by Lendl going into turn number 3. Now up the cutting. Let's jump to Lendl's bumper view. Great exit there by Lendl. You can see giving himself a little bit of space as he goes into turn number 5. Little lift of the gas as he comes into turn number 6. Now flat through 7, flat through 8. Little lift here through turn number 9. Taking a little bit of the inside curb. Great line there for Lendl coming through turn number 10. Now into Skyline. Oh, Dirkie, the rear just a little bit loose, but managing to catch it. Dirkie right up against the inside wall there. Down the dipper. Now into turn number 17. Hard on the brakes and down the hill. Dirkie gets a great turn in out of the forest elbow, and he'll be able to get a great run. Lendl, unfortunately, you can see just losing some ground now. What a great sound of those V8s is screaming past us down the Conrad straight. But I'm definitely getting the sense that Lendl is definitely closing up that gap. You can see he was so good on the brakes there. Race leader Christopher, he goes past through turn number 23. Little look at Dylan. He's now closing up on Stephen. Stephen just moving to the inside, allowing Dylan to go around the outside. Little flash of the lights from Dylan to say thank you very much. And we can see in the background there, that's the battle for second and third place. So these guys are definitely going to be closed up very soon. But now we head back to a second and third. Dirk is a little bit wide. Lendl look to go to around the outside. Dirkie defends, now moving back to the outside for turn number 3. Lendl having to just touch those brakes. But now up through the cutting. It is a bumper-to-bumper action. Lendl needing to touch the brakes. Dirkie looking a little bit out of shape there. But it's all about the rhythm. Once you lose that rhythm into one of the corners, the next 3 or 4 corners just are out of rhythm. And unfortunately, you don't find that speed. But it looks like Dirkie's been able to get away with it. Lendl having dropped about 4 car lengths away now. Just a look back, there's Brandon. He's starting to close up on Ashley. So while Ashley is a lap ahead of Brandon, Brandon definitely finding some pace here. There's the second place driver starting to close up on Steven as they come down the dipper. Steven getting a while out the way, allowing this battle to continue. Dirkie a little bit wide through the dipper, but so, whoa, a little touch of the wall there. Lendl's going to have an advantage now. Lendl will be able to close up to some of those car lengths. Down the Conrad Straits, over the little crest, then down towards turn number 22. We jump behind Dirkie, but let's swing around to watch Lendl. Little lock up there for Dirkie. Lendl up through turn number 22, up on the dirt. And it's little things like that that are definitely making it difficult for Lendl to close up this gap. Now into turn number 23. We get up against the wall. We swing back. Let's go back to the trackside view. Into Hell Corner they go. And definitely Hell Corner for the start of the race. A lot of drivers having some contact there. But Dirkie doing very well here, keeping Lendl at bay. Little glitch of the camera work there, but it hasn't stopped the action happening in front of us. Lendl now getting nice and close to Dirkie. Very, very wide entry there for Lendl, but you can see that definitely does help him. He's nice and tight through turn number 5. Will he touch the brakes? No, but he's gone a little bit wide. That's sliding through there. So that's going to slow him down in straight line speed through this next section. You can see Dirkie just starting to open a couple of car lengths again. Now into Skyline. Lendl just bumping up over the hill. Nice and tight. Now through the dipper. Very close to that outside wall, but that seems to be what he keeps doing now. Cameraman getting very confused. Whoa, Dirkie just about losing it. Going into the forest elbow. Those front tires being asked to work very, very hard there. Down a Conrad Straight. There comes our race leader. That is Christopher. He will be swerving left and right. That is Christopher winning not only the Bathurst race, but that is him securing that championship. An absolute flawless championship here for Christopher. And here we jump back to a second and third place. And Dirkie, he will cross the line in a second place. A great, great battle there for Lendl, but unfortunately not being able to close him down. So let's look at the rest of the field, and Jakes comes home in 4th place with Ashley in 5th. Jacques in 6th place with Steven in 7th, Ross in 8th, Brandon in 9th place, and Dylan down in 10th position. So let's catch up with our podium winners. So guys, that is a crazy, crazy race here at Bathurst. Lots and lots of spills going up the mountain. But to the victors, congratulations, and to the spoils, well, unfortunately guys, we do have another season coming. Let's start off with our third place then, or back-to-back third positions for you, but I'm pretty sure you had your sights on the second place there. You guys were extremely close.
I had a horrible qualifying, but luckily I just managed to avoid the carnage in the first lap. I tried to catch Dirkie for second, but you were just flawless all the way to the end, so just brought it home for third.
Also, Dirkie, this was most definitely not an easy race for you. We could hear by your voice after you finished. Did Lendl keep you on your toes there?
Yeah, yes man. I thought it was going to be me and Jakes again, because we were very close in the beginning, and unfortunately I made a mistake and I overtook him and he bumped his car right behind me through the S's and I lost him there. And I thought, no, I've got an easy race. I know I never tried to catch Christopher, and I said, no, I've got an easy race. And all of a sudden, I realized that Lendl is taking me like 200 a lap, and and I couldn't stop him from doing that. And I just I was just trying not to overcook my tires and make it to the end on the softs. And yes, luckily I could hold it all together. It was really nice, and congratulations on his second podium there, Lendl. Congratulations there, man. I think you are on your way to the top, and congratulations to Christopher on the championship tonight as well. Very well done there.
Yeah, couldn't have said it any better, definitely. So congratulations to Christopher, top of the podium once again, and that will definitely round up your flawless victories at the top.
Thank you once again, and thanks to everyone for entering and racing in this championship. It's been an enjoyable one. This car really suits my driving style, and well done to Dirk and well done to Lendl for back-to-back third position. Unlucky for Jakes, had a very good qualifying, and just unfortunate with a small mistake there. But thanks for the championship, guys. It's absolutely brilliant.
Thank you very much. So guys, don't forget that you will be able to, we will be taking a break for 1 week while we just get the next season up and running. But keep tuned, check out our Facebook page, and we'll bring you some more racing action. Thank you very much. So now that the 8 rounds are up, these are the final positions. Christopher, he wins the championship, 60 points clear of Dirkie in second place. Jakes comes home in third place, rounding up the last podium position. We then have Amal Jacques, he's in fourth, with Ross in fifth, Dylan down in sixth place, 2 points ahead of Ashley, who's in seventh. Lendl, a late charge late on in the championship, gets him in 8th place. Ben, unfortunately, missing 2 races, and he drops down into a 9th place, with Stephen down in 10th. Brandon, he also has lots of unfortunate luck and gets himself in 11th place. Theo, unfortunately, needing to pull out of the championship late on and only getting himself 12th, with Shane in 13th position. Dirkie, he finishes down in 14th, with Andrew in 15th, and Gerard, unfortunately, not being able to do all the races, down in 16th place. So a personal thank you to all the drivers that joined us across the 3 lobbies that we were running. This series was proudly brought to you by Thrustmaster and Mettlestate. And guys, remember, if you did enjoy this video, give it a like, subscribe to our channel, and don't forget to hit that notification button. Now that the season is concluded, we are working behind the scenes to start our season 3, so stay tuned. And until then, keep racing, and thanks for watching. Yos.